Every single day, we are hit by a relentless stream of global news, complex data, and rapid changes. It is incredibly easy to get lost in the sheer volume of information flooding our screens. To survive this constant noise, we rely on information literacy. This is the critical skill of stepping back, filtering out the static, and figuring out what is actually credible and valid. At its core, that is exactly what higher education research is all about. It is not about knowing everything from the start. It is simply the active process of asking, how do I learn about this specific subject? To do that, we use a tool called problem formulation, or in Thai, การตั้งประเด็นปัญหา. This is how we take those massive public and global issues and filter them down into a precise target. By pinning down a specific, well-defined problem, we strip away the overwhelming global noise. We create a clear, actionable path for an independent study. Curious, the first step on this research journey actually starts right where you are. Look closely at your immediate environment. Pay attention to your local community, your school, or even the people closest to you. When we look for a problem, or banha, we are looking for something specific. The 1999 Royal Institute Dictionary defines a problem as a clear doubt, a stubborn question, or an obstacle that demands a solution. Structurally, a problem is the negative space between two distinct points. It is the measurable gap between what society expects to happen and the reality of what is actually occurring. Once you spot that gap, you start your initial exploration. You find the core source materials and figure out the major debates surrounding the issue. This means digging into the political, social, or environmental aspects of the topic. You need to map out the landscape to see what solutions have already been attempted and what questions remain unanswered. Pinpointing that exact discrepancy between expectation and reality gives you a firm anchor. Without that gap, you just have a broad topic. With it, you have a valid, targeted research inquiry. This diagram shows the mechanical process of decreasing an inquiry's scope. We start in the largest circle, all possible topics. Learning specialized terms moves us inward to our initial exploration. Finally, singling out one aspect brings us to the center, a specific, actionable research question. To keep your data organized, this document suggests a practical method. Use two distinct notebooks. Use the first exclusively for studying content, and the second strictly for citations. Bouncing these narrowed ideas off peers and teachers stress tests and clarifies your final problem focus. Satisfied. Moving systematically through these layers is the work of research. It forces you to define exactly what you are trying to find out. Students often feel anxious when starting an independent study, assuming they need to immediately solve a massive, complex global crisis. The true goal is much more focused. Your objective is simply to formulate a well-defined, highly manageable issue, your unique praden panha. The real value of this process comes from digging into that specific issue and finding answers that have actual worth. Even a small discovery can provide practical, tangible benefits to your community or society. This text lists the core advantages of taking this independent approach. You gain the autonomy to set your own pace, and most importantly, you take complete ownership of your learning goals. So look around your world. What is the one specific, measurable issue you are curious enough to explore on your own?